Welcome to the podcast, Academic Honesty, Plagiarism. So what is academic honesty? Well, in a nutshell, it's dishonest. It's dishonest if you present something that you do not own as your own work. In other words, you can't buy or borrow the work of someone else. Also, it's considered cheating, and it's cheating if you help someone else to cheat. Plagiarism is a form of academic dishonesty. It is one of the most recognizable forms of cheating. Plagiarism has a variety of definitions, but most reflect the words that you see on this screen. The unacknowledged appropriation of the words, graphic images, or ideas of another person. You might also notice the citation that is included with this definition, but that is a lesson that we'll address in the future. Plagiarism is an important topic at all levels, not just college. In 2005, my daughter was in 4th grade, and she was attending a class with me, and I was asking the students, "What's plagiarism?" And she sat at the back of the room and just raised her hand and said, "Mommy, Mommy, I know. It's when you use someone else's words. It's wrong, Mommy, just wrong." As they say, out of the mouths of babes. Years ago, research was conducted on the attitudes of students in plagiarism. Part of this research is presented here, where students were very honest about the topic of academic dishonesty. Very interesting is that about 85% of college students said cheating was necessary to get ahead, but actually it puts us behind. Here you see an acrostic poem for the word plagiarism. Each letter has an idea related to the topic of plagiarism. You might notice that there is no citation. Any clue as to why? Think about it, and I'll tell you later on in the podcast. Speaking of citations, did you realize that not including a citation, or maybe you include the citation, but it's incomplete or it's in the wrong format, that is considered a form of plagiarism? Well, it is. And speaking of citations, these are the best resources to help you understand the proper way to use those citations to avoid plagiarism. Whether you are using a book, journal article, or web page, these style manuals can be your best defense against a charge of plagiarism. There are numerous examples of students failing grades or even failing college. In the real world, as in work, there are examples of people who have plagiarized and it has cost them their jobs, and some have endured financial setbacks. As a GSW student, you probably should become familiar with the academic honesty policy located in RAIN. We'll talk more about this later, but this policy is a very important guide. These are a couple of cartoons about plagiarism. They're actually kind of cute. And as you can see, there's a citation on this screen. These cartoons are not mine, and if I had included them in this presentation without proper attribution, I would be committing plagiarism, a big no-no for a podcast on plagiarism. And no matter what you are doing, it's important to include your reference list. This reference list represents all the resources I use to develop this PowerPoint presentation. It is done in APA style, but no matter the style, it will help you to learn to avoid plagiarism and to do correct citations. Oh, and what about that acrostic? The one about plagiarism? The one that had no citation? Well, it had no citation because I wrote it for this PowerPoint presentation. If you wanted to use that, whether it was in a research paper or a PowerPoint presentation of your own, then you would have to cite it. And right here you see the citation. To continue on with our unit on academic honesty and plagiarism, please follow the link that you see on your screen. This will take you to a live binder that talks about plagiarism, gives us more definitions and activities. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.